Good morning, Selective Collective. So this is Kim here to do your reading. I hope you can hear me. I'm trying not to be too loud this morning. Maybe just put the volume up if you can't hear me that well, because I usually get somebody saying something. But look at this name here. Jacobo Grinberg. You may have heard of him. Jacobo Grinberg is the energy that I'm tapping into, is the consciousness that I'm channeling this information from. Okay? This person is very important. I have done little research. I listened to the whole book on synergy and while I was sleeping. And so, then I looked on CIA.gov. They have an interesting excerpt called Orbitals of Consciousness. There is a Netflix. I haven't seen it, but there is a Netflix on this guy because he was a Mexican scientist. He was a neurophysiologist. And oh my goodness, when I learned about his story, I was like, oh, this syncs up with me. And this syncs up with my collective very well, because he was studying consciousness as the fact that we have this not extra, how would I want to say it? That we operate mainly from this unseen consciousness. Like it's actually running things. It is the observer, which we're familiar with, that remains constant, but very adamant that people do not tap into the gifts and skills and abilities that we actually have, which make things on earth look miraculous, which has the ability to alter the matrix. He did talk about a matrix as a crystalline structure. Interesting thing about him is that he did all of these studies, telepathy, paranormal, miraculous healings. Probably most famous that people know about is the ability to teach kids how to read with wearing a blindfold. How is he able to do this? How is he able to do these studies and actually get some proof and people not know too much about it? In 1994, he disappeared. So that makes his story even more interesting. I absolutely believe that we're able to tap into his consciousness for sure, because of him showing up to me so strong last night. So what he did before he disappeared was strange. Withdrawing into his studies of big time meditation, even people were saying that the neighbors were saying there were strange lights coming from the sky to this place where he was at, like strange events, and then he just disappears. And he always believed that you're working, the thing that is actually that you are, this consciousness, was able to transcend and change all physical things. So look, he could have been an Enoch. It could have been another Enoch. He could have went up on his light body and said, I'm going to another dimension, for all we know. And of course he's still here. Of course he's still here though, right? So, oh wow, what an interesting person. So I have the uncreated, and so I feel like the messages coming through are from this energy, as to say that and I pulled these right before, so I apologize I didn't do it on camera. I wanted to kind of look at them for a while. So what I got from this was him saying that if you want, I feel like he's saying if you really want to enjoy life, and they call it breaking from the matrix, but really he just showed how you could work and manipulate the matrix. It didn't necessarily say we're ever going to break free from any structure, but that we can make it what we want. And so there's all these little parts, these wavelengths, these different bits of information of consciousness that we can rearrange for ourselves and create something here that's uncreated. I feel like if you were here, you would be like, yeah, this is for the fun. This is for the fun. Even though if you listen to his book, he's super technical, and it helped to I have a medical background, so that really helped. And I have taken neurology, so I'm an A in neurology, actually. That was just like the beginning one. But anyways, so I do have knowledge about the terms that he's using. And yeah, I think if you were here, he would say that his studies were to tell people that they have these things inside them that are not activated, but have been activated throughout time in little pockets around the world by our shamans, by our mystics, by people that sometimes are labeled as crazy, and their ability to have what appears to be superpowers. All right, so you have this ability to create what has previously been uncreated, but is out there to create with. And I see this spectrum, and I'm thinking, okay, this crystalline consciousness grid. And then this is the Wise Salt card representing physicality. Okay, and then the magic symbol. So there's something about this grid. There's something about us using our consciousness to be expanded and to have maybe even adopt a belief that you are actually way more expanded than you know. And that we can have a big effect, huge effect on our experience. And that was what he really wanted. I feel like that's what he really wanted to do, was here to do studies to show that you could create an experience here in the physical that felt quite magical. I'm really feeling that. And that this magic is about what you can create in physicality. Yeah. Like I'm imagining that movie Lucy, where you get to a point where it's just like, and maybe he got to this point where it was like, I want to take my consciousness and rearrange every fucking thing. Everything. I want to rearrange it all. And then you do. Oh, it's just so interesting. Okay. And then I have the glass, and if you notice I have two circles. So this is the physicality that you can create that has previously been uncreated. It lies in frequencies, light rays, things, X-rays, let me be more specific, X-rays, things that we cannot see but are definitely out there that we can have fun with. Okay, and then, so the glass represents your focus. Where is your focus? And the things, what I'm getting with this too, is that the things with shamans or people that would label themselves as somebody who's a mystic, open to having a new experience, their focus might be in meditation to be wide open and allow whatever comes through to come through. So there is definitely open-mindedness. There's a need to let go of like rigidity. You can still have a focus because you so much believed in the hologram that you can access everything you want right here. Now, whether you're really able to do that or not is probably going to stem from a deep-seated belief. I feel that's coming from me. And so it would almost require training to be open to the fact that, like, you are the universe. You can access all of this stuff. But no doubt what is inside is outside, so it's out there too, but it's just all accessible, and there's something new to be created here. And I think with this card too, it's really easy to, and he talked about this a little bit, it's really easy to get focused on an object up close and you see it moving. And so there's this illusion of time that is very, like, it's trying to, I don't want to say trick you into thinking that that's exactly what's going on, but that's what it's appearing. Versus if you're in a car and the moon is out and you're driving, the moon appears to be in that same place. So there's something about taking, I feel like there's something about taking the focus off of what is metaphorically directly in front of you. That's going to be important because of this, because of us being creators, consciously, sometimes run by unconscious things. I guess they call that sleeping, right? But even a very awakened person gets very caught up in the day-to-day, what's right in front of my face that's making time appear to be moving. But all is actually infinite, and all is actually eternal, and in a way, stand still. It's just grabbing it. It's just grabbing it. Ooh, really interesting. Really interesting. And I feel like this person, because I have the Saturn card in the reverse, I feel like this energy is saying that it's absolutely possible to break free from time restraints and any kind of restriction here that you feel like is a restriction. There's something about like I'm seeing a belief structure being changed. Now, how can you do this? How can you do this is what I'm getting the message. And what I'm seeing when I say that, how can I do this, is I'm seeing a door. It's a cartoon door, and it has a key. And you are this cartoon figure. I don't know, pick one, a dog, a cat, maybe yourself as a cartoon. And you look at your hand and it turns into a key. It happens to be the key that fits to that door, and then you put it in, and that does it. So the message from that is there's a little Albert Einstein here with imagination being the key. Okay, so this is mainly a big thing about imagination. And if we want to look on a practical level, because we're so used to time and we're so used to doing things in steps that although it probably is very possible to completely change your structure, I think it's probably completely possible into a crystalline body. Maybe what he was able to do, I don't know. That's all conjecture, I guess. But if we're so used to steps and we like steps, and sometimes the steps bring us comfort, then the best way would be to, if there is this crystalline grid, would be to do the things that would align your body and your physicality. Your brain as the receiver needs to be healthy. So we would be eating more fruits and vegetables. We would be getting our exercise. We would be getting our water. There's no need for perfectionism, right? But there's a need to try to have that structure within the body, maybe be as aligned as possible with this outside crystalline grid. So I don't think that this reading is going to resonate with a ton of people, actually. But I do think it will resonate with the people who are here as my Selective Collective, because I think that this group knows that anything's possible. absolutely anything, and that magic does exist. And this is a message that magic can exist in the physicality and that you can create it. Okay, so I'm going to get an angel number message. I'm going to wrap up this reading. This was a nice reading. Thank you, Jacobo. Jacobo. Yes. Number 2, the universe is your partner. Is your partner. It's all you, but it's your partner too. 2 says you have a great talent for finding solutions. Your intuitive, unbiased nature allows you to see all sides of any situation and advise others to the most fair and beneficial outcome. I am diplomatic. 13, you're a conscientious worker with a knack for coming up with creative ideas and turning them into something real. An optimistic but practical outlook keeps you determined and on track as you work steadily towards your goals. I am confident. 17, I am independent, talking about the work that you produce when you're going at it alone. Okay, and then here's a weird message. Not like this whole thing hasn't been weird, but the message I got in my dream last night was strange. It was to tell my collective that the divine, that you've been sending out requests to have messages from the divine, and that most countries have, this was in my dream, most countries have social security numbers. There's only a few that don't, like maybe Libya, North Korea, things like that. So, I mean, so anyway, those last 4 digits, and do not comment or disclose, but that they want you to pay attention when you're scrolling, since we're oftentimes scrolling on our phone, to the videos that have exactly those 4 digits. There's something about a message for you. It doesn't have to be a tarot reading. It can be a scientific something or other. It could be an AI video, for all I know. Just make sure you don't comment, hey, that's my, you know what I mean? I mean, common sense there, right? But yeah, I was supposed to pass that on. A strange message. But it has happened to me once before, so that. So anyway, sending you love and light. Bye.